This is Tuesday, April the 10th. I finally got this device in here. There's the plate with the teeth. That's the tongue's installed. That's the upper jaw. There's the switches in the background. There's the mechanism device switches here. You'll see the grin or snarl. That's forward, reverse. This one here you see turning, runs the eyes. See the shutters? That's on the inside of the helmet. I had to rig up a line to the system so I can run this thing. I'll flip it over. The eyes are not inside the helmet yet, but you can see what's going on. It's a little slower than normal. Just pulling a little more power. That's the grin down there. You see how it works. It pulls those 4 sets of strings on either side, or 2 sets, one in the front. Piece of brass that this material here will be attached to. Nose and everything has to be freed. This is the only part it gets glued to. This part here has to be freed. Once assembly's done, then there's more of the pink fabric that's added to the base that houses off against the teeth. That's right in there. That's one of the eyeballs, 2 of the eyeballs. They're not quite finished yet. You can see the age of this thing here. It's not new, it's quite old. It's been updated over the years. Show you the drive for the eyes again. Watch how that works. It's a geared drive motor. Needs a little more speed out of it, but it'll work. It pulls on 2 cords. One falls into here. There's a spring here for the eccentric. You have to have a spring. You see it stretch. Those the cords that it's in. It does not work unless you have a spring loaded. Now my noggin's got to go in this thing, so everything has to be perfectly flat. I mean, it's flat. The battery pack goes on either side here. There's 2 batteries in this thing. This is what the pack looks like. Homemade. They can be rechargeables or Duracell. These are AA's. And here's a dog I've been working on. This thing was built in 2002. No, I take that back. He's much older. I have the date here someplace. He's enormous. No, I won't be looking out through its nose here. It'll be right straight through its eyes. There's going to be a device installed with a set of mirrors. This I can slip my noggin on. There'll be a battery of trigger switches inside here. Jaws on here someplace. I started this project quite a few years ago. The jaw on this thing is horrendous. A little different. There's the engines right there that runs the jaw. 2 engines. They're planetary motor drives. You can see it right here. There's a micro switch in the base here that automatically stops. You can hear it click. Teeth are made out of aluminum and plastic. This thing weighs a ton. And the motor drives for it. Believe it or not. There's my silver fox I gotta modify. It's gonna be redone. It's been sitting here for a while. That's a camera for remote control use. Here's the engine drive that does the same job. This runs the grin, and it also makes it sniff. This is the engine drive right here, what you see, it's the linear. That runs the eyebrows. This guy here runs the eyes. Well, the eyelids, excuse me. This device here runs the eyes. Runs the eyes up and down or back and forth. There's two motors on this thing here. This one engine here runs the eyes up and down. The next engine here runs them side to side. See? It's on a slip aluminum frame. It's all there. This guy here sits on top of the head and runs the ears. The ears will go straight up. There's the engine for it. There's a linear drive. This will pull the ears straight up. It's going to be one of those tan color dogs. Here's the eyelids. Made of lightweight aluminum. Oh, they're just shutters in front of the lenses. The lens has already been built. I got parts from here to Chicago. The suit has not been built yet. It's an ongoing project, along with the rest of them. He'd be like that character you see on Channel 9, called Rags. I saw that show one day as I was building this guy here. I was going to do it for a party. But I got tied up doing everything else underneath the sun. There's quite a bit of material here. It took so far about a month to build on and off. It takes time to build these things, and you can't buy them. Everything's handmade here. Everything's drilled, assembled, pieced. These parts came out of a VCR here. This came out of Japan here. I don't know what they're using these motors for, but they had to be cut, and gears had to be removed out of them. This is a piece of brass with spring steel on either side of it. You need to load the circuit, and that acts like a muscle fiber. It pulls makes the thing grin. The eyes here, against the black, you can't see in, but I can very clearly see out. If I had some finer screen, I can make it more opaque, more uniform, in other words. Most people see through the pupil or through the tear ducts. Very narrow vision. With this suit here, I have to work with a variety of situations, like Glenn's Rotary Club, a few places like that. The Winter's Parade I do every year. And I decided to throw some teeth into them. Update this suit. I had it planned for like 10 years ago. I finally got it done. So I hope this information here works out for you. If anybody's interested. I'll be joining a few more fur cons. Mountain Blue Fox Joe. Otherwise, aka Crazy Joe, 1952.